Alekhine, in this position, sacrificed the rook. You cannot take the rook. The queen would then take on g3. If the king goes here, this is mate, and if the bishop blocks, I still take, I threaten the queen, and I threaten mate. You actually can't stop mate. Okay, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is if you take on c6, I'm actually going to take here anyway. Rook takes g3, knight e3 is always there. If the bishop blocks, I'd go knight e3. Say, what are you talking about? Don't I just take? Yeah, bishop h3, there is no defense against the attack. You made all this progress, but you can't do anything because I'm going to go takes, I'm going to get my queen in, and it's game over. In fact, I can just play rook g1 check, sacrifice my rook, and it's mate on g2 before you get to take my rook. Just insane. Alekhine, when he played rook to e3, and this is what I mean by the genius of controlled chaos, not just dynamic intuition like Tal, calculated, controlled demolition. Rook e3 appeared on the board, and in the ensuing sequence of moves, he had calculated the move knight to e4, leaving the rook hanging for another move. The rook hangs here, and the rook hangs here. If white takes now, then I take this rook, and this rook is hanging, and this knight is hanging. So black is winning, which is why the only move here is rook c4. Creates multiple threats. Pawn takes e3 is still a threat. But now, knight takes f2. Now the rook is no longer hanging. It was hanging for 6 turns. Now the bishop is protected, this bishop is hanging, and this is hanging. But that's not the end of the story, because there's this. Their bishop goes back to e6, and rook sees c2. There's an X-ray attack on both knights. So you get out with knight to g4. Here, only move. Discovered attack check on the king. You go here, and now you would think I take the knight with a check. No, because after bishop takes, this is the position. And black is better in this endgame, but not winning. After king h2, the idea is to sacrifice the rook again. Rook takes f3. And in the sequence, we have this, check, here, take the rook, fork, hit the bishop, and bishop d5. Bishop d5 ends the game with a fork on this knight on b7. Move